Actually, wala naman.
Yun po.
Informal lang siya na ano.
So pwede na po tayo mag-start. Tama po ba?
Siguro ano natin, try natin mag-wait pa ng iba kasi kaunti pa lang din tayo. Pero ikaw, kung kasi wala ka naman sa ano, 'di ba? Hindi ka nag-yes. Pero kung gusto mo na
Apo.
at okay lang kay Sir JP, sayang kasi yung time.
Sige po. Kung okay lang po. Opo.
Ano, Sir JP, okay lang ba sa'yo?
Yeah, yeah, sure, go ahead. We
Yes,
can
no?
proceed.
Oh, sige Pat, start mo na.
Sige po, share screen po ako. Dito bida
Sige,
ano.
share screen mo
Wait
yung
lang.
ano. And i-share mo
Wait
na
lang
rin
po.
siguro sa ano ni Sir yung link nung ano mo para mas malinaw. Yung link ng resume mo.
Yung link ng resume.
Oo.
Wait lang po, wala po kasi siya sa ano, sa drive.
Okay.
Pero pasabi po kung nakikita.
Let's see. Kita naman pala.
Yeah,
Kita naman.
watch
Ganun po.
screen. Yeah.
Okay. Paano ba? Yung resume ko po kasi version 11 na since pagka-graduate ko ng college. Tapos, recently, nag-apply ako ng bagong work. So, bago rin tong resume na to. Tapos yung learning ko from mga nakausap ko na friends and HR is to make it ATS friendly yung applicant aking system ba yun? Parang ganun.
Mm-mm.
Puro words lang siya. So, just a name and then yung address at saka contact details. Tapos, professional summary. And then, yung relevant skills. Yung skills
Hello,
po na
Pat.
to usually. Hello?
Hello. Siguro ano mo na,
Can you hear me?
yung, yes, yes. I mean, i-present mo na siya na parang nag apply ka na. Parang ganon.
Hindi ko
Gets
po
mo?
alam paano
Di ba
gano'n.
yung sample na ano? Na kailangan ma-convince mo si Sir JP dyan tungkol sa
Okay.
resume mo.
Okay, sige
Okay.
po.
Sige. Practice.
Sige. Practice po pala.
Yes.
Practice pala ng interview pala
Yes,
to.
yes, yes.
Okay. Hindi ko alam paano gagawin. Wait lang po, Miss Pat.
Pakilala ka muna.
Sige po. I'm Pat Pascual. I'm actually a chemical engineer turned data scientist. I have over 6 years of working experience. I started as a process engineer for Petron Bataan Refinery. Then from Petron, yung career ko po shifted to data science since most of my work back then involves machine learning. And then I transferred to the supply chain and then eventually into financial service. Yung skills na meron po ako revolves mainly around Python, pero I also have experience with SQL and R. Tapos, the machine learning that I experience revolves around um, the traditional ML, yung model pipelining, and then I also have experience with credit scoring, creating scorecards for credit service systems, ganun po. And then recently I had an experience with LLMs since yun yung um, matunog right now. So I tried to go for boot camps revolving around LLMs, NLP, and yung Gen AI. Right now I'm employed as a senior data scientist for a Japanese bank. My work revolves around credit scoring and automation ng fault detection, mga application ng for example, application po ng um, loan. So my role is to develop models that would auto reject, auto approve or manual check the application para mapabilis po yung manual na work ng mga nasa bangko. Back then, I also served as a consultant for a trading company. So, yung ginagawa ko nun is to predict kung magiging successful ba yung trade or not. Also to analyze yung trades ng mga naging students namin. And dun sa supply chain, my role naman is to um, forecast yung oil loss, yung mga nawawalang oil from the shipment, yung ninakaw na oil, for example, sa truck na to or ninakaw na oil sa barko na to. So, the goal is to uh, check the variance. So, puro statistical analysis using Excel and Python. Then, as a process engineer, more on depletion rate modeling, ganun. So, right now, yung projects ko po revolve around Gen AI. So, yung mga nakapresent dito na projects revolves around RAG or LLM. So, I try to make use cases na um, interesting for me. So, recently, I created an AI-powered career preparation assistant. So, gumagawa siya ng interview preparation at saka ng um, resume na related doon sa job description na pag-a-applyan mo. Ito namang Revenue AI is for forecasting nung Lazada and Shopee. Pwede na lang kausapin yung app na ano yung forecast for the next month. I also tried a personal color analysis and so on. So I think yun lang po, Miss Kat, right now. I also have yung portfolio. Hindi ko alam kung pwede rin ito ipa-check. Yung portfolio ko naman is, nandito lang yung projects ko. So, ito yung pinapasa ko kapag mag-a-apply ako. So, may home lang siya. Then yung featured projects. Tapos yung projects would go to sa GitHub ko para makita ng employers yung mga nagawa ko na or yung mga scripts ko. Tapos yung projects na nandito. Ganun po. Did that work, Miss Kat? Okay na po ba yun?
Oh, okay, sige. Wait natin yung comment ni Sir JP.
Okay, sige. I have a few. I think this is a good structured document. Siguro mga minor enhancements. Yung ano ba, Patrick, yung intention mo ba is to use this sa domestic employers or international?
Mostly po nung pinag-applyan ko is domestic pa lang.
Okay, sige. So since domestic yung target mo, I think this is well structured. But if you're targeting international, it would help if you also add some information doon sa mga past employers mo kung anong sector sila. So for example, if you're applying for some other group, can you scroll up please?
Okay.
I think sa page 2 siguro or page 1. Yeah, page, yeah. Yan. So, for example, itong Petron, Petron is quite known in the Philippines and in Southeast Asia. Pero if somebody from Europe sees Petron, baka hindi sila familiar. So, is this an oil company or what? So, ano lang siguro, some information by putting in sector. So, for example, oil and gas sector, tapos Petron Supply Division. Just to provide framing and context kung saan kang nanggaling and your background and experience. Kasi it also helps if allied or similar sector yung pinag-applyan mo, mababalidate ka agad nila na yes, mukhang may prior experience to working in the same sector. Tapos you're mentioning about the project portfolio. I think that's quite useful. Siguro ready ka lang na mag-present pag hinanap ng mag-i-interview sa'yo, yung mga links where they can find yung mga sample works mo. Just make sure lang na walang proprietary information or trademarks or copyrights doon sa portfolio mo. Baka kasi magka-problema ka later on when they do background check on what you're presenting. Makita na may something not your intellectual property or similar. So just be careful. Doon sa mga projects mo din, I would also like to highlight i-emphasize mo kung ano yung specific output. Was it a model? Was it an algorithm? Kasi for some of the evaluators may not necessarily be uh, um, with our
Familiar.
specialization. Oo, exactly. So, lagay ka lang ano yung naging output dyan. Is it a software? Is it a model? Meron ka bang cleansed data or something? So, rather than the process lang or what you did. So, those are the some comments.
Thank you po, Sir JP.
Yeah,
Wow,
all good.
nice. Thank you, Pat. You're so brave.
May question po pala. Any comment dun sa structure or minsan kasi yung mga mababasa is dapat pala one page lang yung CV, ganun.
Yeah.
So, kapag naghahanap
So,
po kasi
I do agree. Yun din yung problem ko kasi when I did my resume, sa dami ng projects, parang umabot ako ng more than 25 pages. So nahirapan din ako how to compress all of those, I think, needed information into 2 pages. So yung ginawa ko, nag-ready ako ng 2 versions ng resume. One, yung comprehensive list kasi nakalagay din doon yung scope of work ko kasi karamihan ng engagement ko is project-based. So, nag-prepare ako ng na lang, ng timeline of when the project started and ended. Tapos, naglagay na lang ako ng ano yung role ko doon sa project. Tapos, ano yung name ng project. Tapos, should they inquire, naka-standby yung yung longer resume ko for them to review. So, yes, you can actually compress it. Pero mas magandang makita if you really have a good experience and track record na yung progression ng career mo by putting in yung timeline, yung role, and kung anong organization naging part ng project na yan.
Okay po, Sir JP. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. You're so brave. Kulang pa yung ating mga attendees. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. So, 8 pa lang yung nandito sa room.
Yeah, we can make use of the time. So,
Yes.
probably we can do an AMA.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Wait, sir. What is AMA? Sorry.
Ano lang, career advice, yung mga ganun. Kasi on topic naman yan eh.
Okay.
Baka meron kayong challenges, nahirapan kayo sa market or whatnot.
Okay.
Experience.
O, sino sa inyo may question or sinong gusto magsalita? Ay, eto sir, may mga question po pala dito. Advice for people na nag-start pa lang sa career? Paano nyo nahanap yung job or client?
Okay, sige. I think yun yung napansin ko din from our specialization na project driven yung mga nasa data engineering and allied disciplines. That's great. Ituloy niyo yung mga projects na yan. However, how do you market yourself? I think would be a question for you kasi ang dami nating mga ginagawang projects pero wala tayong focus on the subject, where to apply yung mga skills. So I suggest, tingnan muna ninyo kung saan ninyo balak pumuntang sector. Tapos doon kayo mag-focus nung mga projects ninyo. Ano yung mga pain points, ano yung mga innovations na pwedeng gawin. Tapos yun yung gawan ninyo ng maayos na structure. Kasi makikita yan sa resume na ito pala yung interest niya. So that's usually from a hiring point of view, plus point yun kasi you know what you want rather than seeing a resume na yung project portfolio is all over the place, may financing or financial sector, tapos bigla magkakaroon ng disaster management, magkakaroon ng banking, magkakaroon ng multiple places all over. No? So kung masasubmit yung resume ninyo na merong coherent, structured, and well thought out plan from the applicant, mas mas pagtutuunan ng pansin yon ng hiring officer compared to a hobbyist, as we call it. So that's my advice. Alamin niyo muna kung anong balak ninyong sector pasukin, and you focus your projects there. Reflect it in your resume, and probably you'll have a good chance na mas reviewin ng more detailed yung resume na sinabit nyo.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Ayun po. Paano daw po yung mga freshmen? Meron na po akong mga multiple project and freelancing na rin po. Paano po yung mga format?
Okay. So for the format, usually yung structure na nakita ko kanina na present ni Patrick, that's a good format. It's really important na ma-highlight yung mga projects that you were part of, and you can somewhat explain what you did in the project and anong involvement ninyo. Unfortunately, the reality is saturated talaga yung ano natin, yung workforce natin, but there's really growth in the workforce over the coming years. So I would suggest, if nakahanap kayo ng vacancy and meron kayo nakikitang progression doon sa company, go for it. I can also tell you, in government, it doesn't necessarily mean they're looking for data engineers. They usually call it with other terms like IT officers, computer programmers. Pero when you look at the scope of work, baka data engineers yung hinahanap doon or data scientists. So wag kayong masyadong mag-focus on the job label, but instead focus on the content and scope of work. For fresh grads, again, same advice. Try to figure out anong sector yung gusto ninyong pasukin. Kasi if you're trying to just shotgun approach dun sa resume nyo, wala kayong focus, overwhelming yun, and parang ang dami ninyong kalaban. So if you really choose a sector and then you do your research kung ano yung mga organizations or companies you want to come into, edi at least you can adjust accordingly yung content ng resume ninyo for someone who will be hiring from that company. So yun yung mga advice for new grads. Explore din government, maraming vacancies sa government for fresh grads. Over.
Oh, okay, sir. Sir, andito na po si Sir Josh. Sir Josh, nag-start na kami para lang hindi sayang, and nag volunteer si Pat na mag-start. So it's your turn.
Hello everyone. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Hi Sir JP. Basta.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, what's up?
Sorry being late. Ayan. Sige. Sorry sino magiging ating magiging volunteer na mag-share na kanyang resume.
Yes, Sir Josh, hindi na kami nag-formal chuchu, direkta na kami since si Pat, willing naman siya mag-share nung resume niya kanina while wala pa yung iba. So, ayun, nag-start na kami, nakapag-present siya, and nagbigay na rin ng comment and feedback si Sir JP. So, up to you na.
Okay, sige. Meron pa bang ibang gusto mag-
If wala pa, sir, di ikaw muna.
Niready na lang po ngayon. Ayan. So, sabi ko lang.
Nasa tech suite tayo, pero nahirapan na mag-set up dito. Ayan.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ay, shish. Okay, so as I was saying, ayan, okay. So as I was saying, ito nga yung parang resume ko that I use now. Ayan. Can you guys still hear me ba? Or may mga nagpapap ka sa headphones ko?
Okay na, sir.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay. So, sige. Call me my attention na lang if in case na medyo mahina. Alright, cool. So this is my resume. Ayan. So I have just a brief profile here. Ayan. So nasa taas kasi medyo contact details ko. But this is my brief profile. So I just talked about the my background in a nutshell. So how did I ang summary ng career ko. So I started that as BPO trainer tapos getting into the data career. And ano yung mga parang current skills that I have. And of course, I laid down the experiences that I have. Ang mga sinama ko lang din dito is yung mga aside from the actual job contracts or parang employment contracts that I have, may mga sinama rin ako mga freelance and part-time roles dito if mapapansin nyo. So first is sa pinakababa tayo. So as you can see, I started that as a training officer or trainer from a BPO company. But of course, I started as an agent. Pero hindi ko na kasi sinama yung pinaka history ko dun sa company na yun since if you're going to add your experiences for a certain company, you just add the latest position or pinaka last na position na employ kayo. So here I just added yung parang aking last title. And hindi na ako masyadong naglagay ng details sa mga training careers ko since in the roles that I'm applying for in the succeeding years or in the current role that I am in now, they won't be relevant talaga. Kaya right now, I just have a single line here para lang sa para ng konting background ako ng ginawa ko dyan. During interviews naman, parang natatanong din naman ako kung paano ako napunta sa data. So, later on to that. So yeah, around 2020, ayan yung pinaka first data job ko. So it's not super data title. So narinig ko nga kanya kay Sir JP that we don't really focus on the titles because this role is actually parang data associate role. Kasi ang role ko here, it's I'm responsible for doing parang maintenance on the master data, tapos parang validation ng mga entries na meron ka. So parang somehow steward na rin. Kasi you're looking at the requests, then you're trying to validate the request if it complies with the actually hindi siya super parang validation, but it's more like checking if it's accurate based on a document. So product details kasi yung nilalagay natin sa Salesforce dito, tapos I'm just looking at the at the request form kung tama yung mga nilagay nila. So parang ganun naging job ko. But most of the parang major or projects that I've handled here are mostly on the maintenance side din talaga. So parang the entire product master data, understanding the gaps, duplicate records and all that stuff. Tapos ito yung parang pinaka isa sa mga parang matatagal kong freelance work din. Naging Python developer ako. So ayan. It's just a freelance role. So I just labeled this like that para lang to tell just the recruiters na it's a freelance role. So parang sometimes in a week wala akong ginagawa dito. So parang tambay lang ganun. And so parang ganun. I added that because I believe na it's gonna help my profile, my resume to, be more noticeable sa recruiters. Kaya pinaglalagay ko talaga yung mga freelance roles ko dito and part-time roles. Actually, hindi pa ako nalagay, but hindi naman din kasi relevant there. It's also a freelance or part-time role, itong software developer. But that's the actual title, but it's not really a software developer per se na talagang tech stack kang binibuild. Excel gamit naman dito. Ayan. But we actually formed an actual application that nurses are using for data entries. Ganun. Yeah, ito another part-time role that I have. And the last role that I have here is from SM naman. So more on the BI side na. So ayan. So ito yung mga nasa taas. Kung mahaba nakikita niyo yung parang hinahighlight ko lang din yung mga major points or major I won't say major contributions, but yung mga bagay na gusto ko lang din maibenta in the sense na um, parang na-handle ko sila from start to finish and covering as well the impact of what I did. So, ayun yung para kaya may makikita kayong numbers there. Kasi if you will be using the guidelines for creating a resume, ALS score, I don't know the entire name for ALS, pero or I'm not sure if it's ALS. Parang, but it's a mechanism to measure the effectivity or the goodness of your resume. So one of the aspects that you have to put there in your resume is that parang may mga numbers dapat. Numbers that signify the impact of that particular role at kung ano man yung mga naging nagawa niyo dun sa particular role na yun. And the latest role is this role, na TW Foundation. It's just a consulting role. But yeah, that's just the general experiences that I have on my resume. So parang I'm just really highlighting the things that want to highlight. Especially if I believe na yung experience ko doon is super relevant talaga relevant plus will be beneficial doon sa pinaka role. For example, if I'm applying for a Python developer role, i-highlight ko dito yung mga subjects na ginamit ako ng Python. And I just have one certification. So, that's just for Public Associate. Ayan. It should be updated now kasi hanggang May 2025 na siya since na-renew ko na. Ayan. Actually not sure if this section is really helpful pa. Kasi in my opinion, parang you just really can't measure a skill eh. Yes, you can say that you know or Python and whatnot. Pero parang it's still not enough to say na siguro that's a good way to tell the people that you know this. Pero question dito kasi is ano yung talaga dito yung mga ginamit mo. Pero yun, nilagay ko na din siya kasi sabi sa suggestion is ilagay ko din. But for me, medyo hindi siya it could be helpful at some level, pero for me parang hindi pa siya super ganung prove na talagang skilled ka dun sa tools na yon. And of course, we don't really just focus on the tools naman. So, ayun. And sa personal projects, since again, I'm coming from, I'm a career shifter, and the current or the last roles na hinandle ko, it utilizes the traditional tools like SQL Server, SSIS for pipelines, which I believe na parang medyo kapag ka nag-apply ako sa current roles now, feeling ko, doon ako nahi-hit talaga ng mga recruiters kasi I don't have that much of an experience on other tools like big data, cloud, especially cloud, ganon. That's why I'm adding personal portfolio, especially dun sa mga tools or especially dun sa mga parang relevant tools that will help me in say na parang I can build things from the very beginning, from the very top, from scratch. So ayun, parang it's a way for, I guess it's gonna be a way for me to just tell them na I know the process of building things from the very top. Ayan. Kaya for me, I would still add the personal portfolios or projects here. Although hindi pa sila super super in-depth din talaga. So ayun. So something that I can improve on as well on my resume. And pinaka talaga yung education, ayan. May nabasa rin ako before na we don't add the year of graduation. Yeah. I don't know, but some people are just looking at, I'm not sure if if it applies here in the Philippines, pero in the US daw kasi, if you have that year of graduation, it's telling the recruiters your actual age. So parang ganun, from there, somehow they're already assessing your age, your potentially your experience. So kaya kapag ka medyo earlier or later years pa yan, like let's say 2020 or 2022, mga ganun. So parang medyo bago-bago pa. So kahit na parang you have these experiences already, parang somehow may ganun pa ring measure sila recruiters about that, about your age somehow. I'm not sure if it applies here in the Philippines, but for me, tinanggal ko na lang din. Pero graduate naman 2017 pa. So, and for me din kasi, it wouldn't be helpful if I will put this at the very top since, again, I'm a career shifter. Wala naman kami mga technical courses dito or subjects dito. So, just for me to just push those information na I would think are more relevant to my to the job application, then nilagay ko na lang sa taas. Tapos ito yung pinaka nasa baba na lang din siya. Ganun. Last point na lang siguro would be the arrangement of the experience. Di ko pa fully na-update ito based on what I do now. But una kong, syempre, sa mga first levels, it's easier kasi I arranged it based dun sa actual date kung kailan ako na-hire. Pero sa mga upper level, since may mga freelance role ako before, and actually until now naman, hinighlight ko na lang or tinask ko na lang talaga yung mga roles na malaki talaga yung naging work or naging experience ko. So kasi for example for others, like actually wala na dito, but there's a role there na or parang naging part-time ko lang na data analyst, pero wala naman ako super naging experience. 3 months lang ako doon. Tapos natanggal ako. Ayan, kasi wala ng clients back then. So ayun. So yeah, I think that's just the summary of my resume. So konting naglagay na rin ng konting feedback, but yeah, feel free to share everyone if you have any questions or suggestions and feedback dun sa aking resume. Para din,
Josh,
yes sir.
can you share again the
Ay, yan.
So if you allow me, I do have some suggestions, no. Actually halos parehas tayo ng ng resume structure. I'm also using this one. Ito yung nabanggit ko kanina sa presentation ni Patrick, wherein naka-identify yung yung role, yung functional role, tapos nakalagay din yung organization and yung reverse sequence of yung chronological order ng progression ng career mo. So this is actually also the same structure that I have. However, you might also include, kasi you mentioned about the freelance thing. Tama yun, include mo yung freelance. But in my experience kasi, freelancer talaga ako through and through for almost 10 years. And may chances kasi na nagpa-parallel yung projects ko. There was a time parang 4 or 5 projects at any point in time, sabay-sabay. So what I did, medyo mahaba yung duration ng project na yon. So I always put the ongoing projects doon sa topmost. Tapos, for the finished projects, doon sila sa bandang baba, pero they are in sequence. So, tama yung structure.
Okay.
Tama yung sequence, but kung sakaling marami kang multiple concurrent projects happening, put it doon sa topmost. So, directly under the experience placeholder mo. If in case meron lang naman. Kasi, makikita doon na you're really into freelancing because you can engage multiple projects at the same time if ever meron. Okay.
Right.
Another one, you asked a question about the skills. To me, I think this is important, pero I think this is quite mislabeled. You are right. Probably what you are just describing here is you are familiar or proficient with the tools and technologies. But I would not call it skills kasi we cannot really determine yung proficiency expertise mo.
Right.
So I would suggest tools or technologies that you are using rather than skills. Anyway, ang purpose naman ng resume is to start a conversation and get the interest of hiring officers. So if they need more information from you, edi you can provide that during interview or additional provision of certificates that you underwent training or something. So at least nandyan sila, but I think you should just label this appropriately. Tapos you did also raise a good question about the dates when you graduated and age. I think you are right kasi in the Philippines hindi naman siya ganun ka-particular kasi na-analyze naman if you get to review yung career progression ng tao, If nag-start siya mag-work ng gantong taon, pwedeng i-reverse na lang yun eh. Analyze yung data na yun, di ba? We're data practitioners, you know what I'm saying. So, kumbaga, hindi lang siya explicitly there, but the information can be abstracted from the other parts of your resume, so that's fine. However, I would emphasize na I think it's important to include yung year of graduation if you're applying for a senior management role. But if technical naman, I don't think it will be material or will have bearing. But if, for example, team leader or manager or director pataas, I think yung year when you graduated and also yung mga certifications would come into importance. So it really depends on what you're applying for and yung culture ng workforce and labor market that you're trying to participate in. So those are my pointers.
Right. Thank you so much, Sir JP. Ayan.
But yeah, overall the content is pretty much fine. Again, the resume is meant to get the attention of your hiring officers. And I think this is a well-structured document from what I see.
Right. Thank you so much. I'm just interested lang, no. Meron ba sa mga nandito sa channel ang HR practitioner? Ayan. Anyone? Or kahit yung mga nasa comments or nasa actively sa chat. Anyone who's in HR field or recruiters. Yun. Especially recruiters kasi sila yung mga parang actively, well, they're the ones who are looking for talents, right? So, yeah, anyone ba? Or wala? Raise your hand if you are. Ito, si Ganyu daw is reviewing the CVs. Ay, ito pala si Ganyu. Hello, Ganyu. Are you there? Or do you have a mic? Kasi I just wanna ask lang, would parang ano ba yung usual things that recruiters are looking. Hindi pala. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so mukhang wala. Okay, but that's fine. It would be actually helpful if we had someone from HR, but at least they can actually share parang yung initial things that they were looking at. Kasi diba, it's if you have a resume, it's not like recruiters will review your resume for like how many hours, right? Parang on average, parang meron nga lang 5 to 8 seconds na isang tingin lang ng resume yun, tapos next candidate na kagad. So parang sa 5 to 8 seconds na yun, make or break decision na kagad yun ng mga recruiters. So with that particular parang dilemma, then how do they really review the resume? So meron din ako napanood din video before, o just wanna share na lang din that they're actually looking at some patterns eh. Parang may direction yung pagtingin nila ng resume. So if you can look for a video on YouTube na parang they've interviewed or they've asked two HR recruiters or recruiters to review a CV. Tapos ang ginagawa kasi doon behind the scenes is that they're monitoring yung eye movement nung HRs na yon, just to understand kung ano yung pattern nila. So from there, parang they're more inclined to look at, which makes sense, at the very top. So at the very top, kung okay na, kung nandun na yung mga parang good details about you, then parang you're most likely get hired by or selected for an interview. So ganun. Yung mga ganung points sana ang magiging interesting to learn from the HR folks. Kaso mukhang wala tayong people from HR folks. Yan ako, G.
Sir Josh, we
Sige,
have
let's
the
just
next
address or parang meron. Okay, goods.
Next natin is JP. But kung may ano ka pa ha, basta siya yung next and then Ganyu.
Okay, nice. Sige. JP, Sir JP? Or ibang JP to?
Ibang JP siya.
Okay. Sige.
Kaya kami marami.
Akala ko nga, Sir JP, ikaw yung ang inisip kong Sir JP na kasama natin supposedly today is yung isang JP na content creator din. So, ayun. Mga madaming ang JP. Alright, sige, let's go to the next presenter na para yan. Andyan na ba siya? Or should we
Ayan na,
go
ayan
for
na.
Ganyu first?
Andyan na si JP. JP, you're next.
Andyan na siya.
Siya yung ano, yung aso ang ano.
Ang dami ako nakikita. Ito, okay. Okay, sige. Hello. Ayan. You may share your resume na para you can discuss it na. Kasi JP right here, if I'm not mistaken, is from Estonia. So ang papakita niya yata today is yung resume niya, which led him to moving to Estonia. Ayan. Whenever you're ready, JP.
Yeah, Catherine and the organizing team, while waiting for JP, may mga question akong tinitingnan sa chat. Pa-help na lang mag-facilitate later, ha? I think they have good questions na pwede pag-usapan mamaya.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Hello, sorry. Okay na ata ako. Can I
Yes,
be-
yes. Not here.
Okay, sorry. Let me just share my screen. Okay. Well, the goal of my presentation is just to share what my CV looked like I before moving abroad. So I am currently based abroad. I am currently a data scientist based in Estonia, and I just want to show you guys yung CV ko when I applied for the role. Sorry, nakikita ba yung CV ko?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Sige. So, parang almost similar format naman sa previous presenters, no? Ano lang siguro, I really wanted to keep it short as much as possible, like 1 page. Pero since siguro I was trying to put as much as I can kasi nga applying for abroad, so I wanted to parang impress na rin. So hindi ko siya napagkasya, pero parang ang weird na yung page 2 is very short. So siguro simulan ko na lang from bottom to top. So skill set, I think language is parang important lang naman siya when applying abroad. So if you are applying abroad and you know the local language also or other languages, medyo I think advantage siya, especially if non-English speaking country yung applyan nyo and you earned a certificate as like B levels or C levels, no. Then technical skills, parang when I was applying even in the Philippines, the job openings will usually include yung Python libraries. So I think parang pag iniisipin nyo kasi lahat ng CV nyo and resume dadaan sa mga automated checkers, no? So dapat parang ima-match nyo yung CV nyo sa current job opening. So maganda na i-mention nyo yung mga packages na alam nyo and also other tools. Basically, I arranged this depending on how well I know each tool. So I am most proficient with Python, then before Power BI, then Tableau, and so on. Yun. And then personal projects, but yeah, so meron din akong personal projects that time. And hindi ko nilagay lahat, pero what I did was at least one aspect is covered. So for example dito, machine learning, Tapos another one, exploratory data analysis. Then using like big data. Then another one, this is my parang passion project. So something I am passionate about. And this one, I think, random lang na pinili ko siya. Pero yun, parang, although, yung iba, no, parang ang dami yung personal projects, siguro pag iti-trim down nyo, no, to choose what projects you will show in your CV, siguro okay na parang each vertical is covered. So, kunyari, data engineering, so meron kang ETL part, meron kang cleaning part, or meron kang end-to-end part, meron kang parang using API, or kung ano man. And then education, yan. And then professional experience. So usual naman no, na arrange it based on recency. And then also just sobrang iba kasi yung way ng pag-prepare ng CV while you're in the Philippines versus ngayon na nasa abroad ako looking for another job. Kasi dito, parang they prefer like super simple, as in parang per bullet, siguro gusto nila like 5 words lang. Pero in the Philippines kasi, I've seen like CV na very detailed, na very, which is yun naman yung usually hinahanap na recruiters, especially like hiring managers, na parang, it's not only kung ano yung ginawa nyo, but also how it affected the business. Like for example, medyo bad example to, pero kunyari, parang, ano ba? Hindi ata ito. Sige, wait. Check ko yung isang CV. Yan. So, kunyari, meron kayong CV na ayan, kunyari meron kayong process improvement, lalagay nyo kung ano yung effect niya sa business, so which save parang 5 Mondays per month. So, mga ganyang business impact ng mga ginagawa nyong projects sa work. And then, probably like a short description kung sino kayo, kung ano yung experience nyo, and also ano yung passion nyo, and what are you looking for your next job. And then, yeah, just the usual name, contact details, and also your portfolio. I think it is, at least in the Philippines, medyo, ewan ko, parang, since medyo saturated nga yung market, I think edge nyo magkaroon ng portfolio. Ayun. So, this is my CV previously. So, I created this using Word lang. This is my current CV. I made this using PowerPoint. Pero, so far, hindi siya successful. So, probably, may something wrong with the CV format. My current CV format for abroad. No, pero yun. Siguro I will A/B test muna kung anong magandang format ng CV applying abroad. I mean applying within abroad na. Pero yun, ito yung CV ko nung nag-apply ako moving abroad. Ayun lang. Thank you. Just let me know if you have any questions.
Yeah, just this comments lang, JP, if it's okay. Also, some guidance na rin for the other participants. Yeah, this is actually a well-structured document, and from an international point of view, I think mataas ang engagement doon sa nakita kong resume. Straight to the point, maraming details, but not too much na nakaka-overwhelm doon sa hiring officer. I'm also commenting on from a lens of a hiring person kasi I led a team din. So ako yung naging parang part of the selection. And kung ako yung tatanungin, andun lahat ng information that I am looking for, to determine if the applicant is a perfect fit to the organization. Kasi hindi lang naman siya about you as the applicant and your technical skill sets. It's also where the organization is heading towards, ano yung plano namin. And all the information that I need, I can find in your resume, whether we can discuss later yung mga details of verifying ano yung mga skill sets mo talaga. But at least that gets you to the next stage, which is the interview. So I think for those who are eyeing for international engagements, I really find that structure quite useful for a hiring manager. So please emulate, please replicate yung structure na yan. I do have a comment doon sa sinabi mo rin, JP. This is more of like a reaction lang din. In the Philippines kasi, yung mga nasa field kasi natin are heavy on knowledge work, and it's really difficult to make yourself stand out with other similarly skilled job hunters. So unfortunately, you really have to find a way to get the interest of the hiring or selecting officer even before thinking about whether you will get an interview, let alone you will get the actual job. So highlight what you think should be highlighted. Kasi if, for example, you're applying for a bank, tapos hindi naman pala bank-related yung nakita doon na experience, you might be skilled, you might be knowledgeable, pero wala kang background doon sa domain of where you are trying to apply for. So always be mindful about that in the resume kasi yun yung limited time to sift or filter out other resumes and CVs. You only have that chance, no, doon sa organization na yon, doon sa nagko-curate or yung nag-shortlist na personnel in the process. So make it relevant doon sa pinag-applyan ninyong organization. I know it's quite frustrating. Pag submit lang kayo na submit ng resume, most likely it will be ignored kasi tingnan rin ninyo kung gaano karami nag-a-apply doon sa organization na pinag-submitan ninyo. So if you can tailor yung language, yung content to your organization, lalo na kung gusto talaga ninyo yung organization na yon, do the effort of refining your resume. All right? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
So,
you, Sir JP.
yes, sir. Ang next po, sir, si Ganyu, but I will be the one sharing his resume. Ganyu, ready ka na?
Hello.
Kita na ba?
Hindi po ba?
Okay, sige, sir. Ganyu, you may start.
Hindi po ba? Hindi po ba?
Okay. Ay,
We can hear
We
you
can
pero
hear you.
parang muffled or parang malayo yung boses.
Case, yung patapos yung CV ko, so I'm just trying to pick and define the one of that's actually the CV that I have enough having in one of my applications in Netherlands since I was also I'm currently also looking for opportunities abroad. And so far.
sorry. Ay, teka
So,
lang.
so yeah. To be honest, hindi ko siya tapos. After verifying ko pa, I had to remove some of these things. One of the interviewers na nakausap ko is try to remove the objectives, but instead, like just a short introduction ng ilan, just like what I have saw already sa previous person also. So, ayun. So, but actually, these are the CVs that I use. Currently, I'm still waiting for some interviews. But yeah, let's focus on the same study. So in my case, usually the visual structure that I'm using is first the skills, and then experience.
Sorry, Ganyu. Is anyone sharing the resume?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Yeah, I can see
Parang,
it's a screen ko from
oo.
Catherine's screen.
Sorry, baka ko lang. Sorry.
Okay, okay.
Continue. Sorry.
So, so you mentioned, I'm gonna remove the objectives. Yun yung columns doon. So, I'm still learning. But, yeah, first I have to put the skills on, based on my experience. So, in my skills, categorize ko siya. I have handled a lot of tools and technology stuff na. So, seriously, I trained using Azure for data processing and orchestration. So, pinong-press ko siya into one tool ko para makasip yung space. Since, mostly, yung mga nag-issue ng resumes, parang ayaw nila mga sa ko. Kasi ganun yung resume. Masyadong fully detailed na makaka-overwhelm. That's why, ginagawa ko yung format. And I have this reviewed by some of the professionals also in I was working currently in abroad. To get them. So, kaya ko siya binareview. So, after skills, sinusunod ko yung experience na mga experiences ko. Could you please stop? Sorry, Miss Catherine.
Catherine, can you scroll down a bit? Yeah, thank you.
So, yung experience, ayun, so at the lagi kong, I usually put the most recent one, or the most recent experience sa mga company. And before, yung bullet points is masyadong marami since as Sir Jet or JT mentioned earlier, parang we want to impress also the si nagre-review ng CV and review. But somehow, it makes this overwhelming. And then, before generic lang yung nalagay ko. But then, there was review of some project preferences. So, that's when I decided to put some few time extra. Ano yung napagtuloy kasi, like, the office subscribe to it. On the orchestration. So, that's one. Iyan po yung nag-access. And another thing na nakalimutan ko ilagay kung ano yung mga industry na pag-work and also. Kasi usually sa interview, kapag kung ano industry ng mga data na hina-handle ko. So, sa banks, sa retail, and then sa ganun. So, nakalimutan ko siya ilagay din. So, mostly, nakalagay CV ko mga ginawa ko lang during that time, at the time na nasa project. So, typical day-to-day task of activity. And next after the work experiences, I guess that would be I think this is your book, in short lang ako ulit. And I guess that would be the activities or achievements or certifications. And lastly, yung education. So, the reason why I added the thesis, kasi there are times na yung interview ay nag-ask ko ano yung develop way back. So, since yung amin is more on machine, but it handles data as well kasi may time mo pagbabakain mo. So, that's why in-involve ko siya. Kasi tinatanong ko siya interviewer. Well, based on my experience. So, ayun yun. So, still learning and still looking for reviews para maayos yung reference any suggestions or comments. So, in order to improve my skills. That's all.
Yeah, Ganyu, for me, I think the resume is also quite informative. However, I do have some pointers for you and for those who are in the call as well. Nakita ko kasi doon sa sa resume that you really have good technical background on several things that a data engineer needs. However, I looked at the duration of the parang work mo. Parang wala akong nakita or baka I missed it. But the most recent ones are counted in months. So I have this impression na project-based yung naging engagement. So I would frame it like that kasi parang kung ako yung tawag doon yung hiring officer, the first impression is I would focus on somebody else's resume kasi this person might be parang yung palipat-lipat ng company. So I think it should be important na ma-emphasize mo dun sa sa resume mo na that is a project and nag-end yung project or natapos yung project. That's why it got cut even if 3 months ka lang dun sa company. Kasi yun yung yun yung reality natin ngayon when senior HR personnel take a look at resumes. Nanonotice ka agad nila na hindi to nagsistay in one company for at least a year. I would rather not, recommend this for a short list and look for somebody else because there might be a risk na baka umalis din sa amin to in a few months. So be very clear on why that short amount of time. And lagay mo lang doon, natapos na yung project and the project was closed successfully. So I think that would also help make your case. On the skills and technologies, I think that's really well written, especially if you will be applying for another technical position na kailangan ng magandang toolkit and prior experience over those tools. So appropriate siya for a technical position. But if you're eyeing for a management position, baka you can make it more simpler yung mga toolkits natin so you can focus on database technologies such as tapos data processing tools such as rather than naka-outline and bulleted individually. So again, depende kung ano yung gusto mong pag-applyan, you can refine the structure of your resume as appropriate. So some pointers lang for you to consider. Thank you.
May question ka pa, Ganyu? All goods ka na? Si Raf. Yes.
Ay, malinaw po ba?
Yep.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Ayun po. Hello po. My name is Rafael and currently 4th year college and I am an aspiring data engineer and also currently freelancer po. Actually po, this is automation specialist lang po. Tapos pinalitan ko lang pong data engineer para maangas pakinggan. Joke lang. Kasi tawag dito expect ko po pag sinabing data engineer is tawag dito dapat magaling sa paggamit ng cloud, ETL, and tawag dito pag setup ng data infrastructure. And mayroon din po nakapagsabi na hindi ang pagiging data engineer is not about magaling sa certain tools, kundi ayun po marunong mag-solve ng problem at marunong gumawa ng ETL pipeline tsaka cloud infrastructure po. Ayun po nagkaroon po ako ng client project, ayun po. Tapos ayun po dati po nag virtual assistant ng 2020 po. Tapos ayun po education. Tapos ito pong project ayun po. Dito po yung client project ko po itong nasa unahan. Then sa pangalawa po, ito pong dalawa lang po to, personal project lang po. Kaya dito ko na lang po talaga binabawi. kapag nagtatanong po yung ina-applyan ko po, ganyan. Tapos skills po, ayan po. Python, SQL, o BI, yan po. And actually, client communication, yan po yung current struggle ko po ngayon, ganyan. Tapos, certificate, usually mostly sa data camp talaga. And free lang po lahat ng mga certificate na nakuha ko from from the group po sa DEP. Thank you po kay Sir Mike din po. And sa mga din po, mentors din po. And ayun po, free din na Microsoft Analytics Engineer din po na exam na napasa ko last 3 weeks ago. Ayun po. Bali, ayun po, resume lang po siya. Binawi ko na lang po sa every time na nag-apply po ako sa client, binabawi ko na lang po dito sa portfolio, ganyan. Pero ayun po, yun na po lahat.
Yep. Raf, thank you, no? I think for someone under nasa studies pa, I think this is quite good. However, I'd like to highlight yung point mo kanina na you use data engineer than automation engineer ba or something. I think that's fine. Maganda yon kasi nag-visioning ka na gusto mong alignment is a data engineer career. However, I'd like to advise you na there's also what we call as integrity doon sa resume. And I'd like to highlight this kasi you'll be surprised. Data architect ako ngayon, pero yung first job ko as a freelancer, gumawa ako ng audio-video presentation, which is totally outside of my career, pero anyway, I put it there. Just to make sure na when somebody asks ano ba yung naging role ko, it's really an AVP video editor or something. Kasi that also would prove na whatever you wrote in your resume is actually quite what you are doing. So on your point na data engineer nilagay mo, I can support that if nag-fulfill ka or ginampanan mo yung role ng data engineer. So it's a test to your integrity na kung anong nilagay mo dyan is really what you did. Kasi I would also give you another story, no? So pinanindigan ko na AVP multimedia person ako nung first job ko. Tapos naging asset ko siya later on. Kasi when somebody or one project involving AVP specialization, walang makuha, mas nakita ng organization na I have a background, parang ako na yung kinoconsult nila on what they should do on the AVP kasi nakita nila sa resume ko. So kumbaga on the immediate, it might not be a good choice for you kung tingin mong ayaw mo nung automation engineer, pero who knows in the future baka pag nasa middle senior role ka na, maging asset mo siya bigla na nasa resume mo pala naging automation engineer ka. Who knows baka merong team of automation engineers that will be reporting under you and you can assert to them na guys, I've been an automation engineer and I know what you should be doing. So again, yung integrity na yon, it becomes an asset for you eventually. So it's entirely up to you how you frame yung data engineer or slash automation engineer, because the integrity part will get back to you in the near future. On the part naman ng doon sa education, I think that's fine, and yung mga training, siguro Raf, doon sa certificate, it would help if you can put in yung mga ginawa mong exercises. So was it a training done online? Was it face-to-face? Was it continuous, asynchronous? So siguro just a few information lang. And how long did it really take for you to conduct the entire training, no, since you're studying? So just to provide context, kasi kung interested yung hiring officer sa'yo, they will be asking for that information, and it would help if nakapaloob na dito sa resume mo yung mga details na yon. If not, share it sa sa interview, should you have that interview with them. I think that's the comments I have from my end. But overall, it's quite structured for someone who's still studying.
Okay.
Thank you.
Question lang po. Ano pong mas prefer ng mga employer? Resume or CV po? Kasi nabibitin po ako sa resume.
Yeah, it depends. So pag sinabi resume, just follow the instruction resume. But you also have another version which is a CV. So mas comprehensive yun. You can find some different templates for it. Ako, I have a resume, I have a CV. Tapos I also work with governments. I also have a personal data sheet, which is a totally different structure, outlining the same information. No? So yeah, so marami-raming uh, templates na kailangan fill upan, but it really depends on who will be hiring you or prospective hires sa'yo.
Okay po. Thank you po.
Okay, Catherine, may presenters pa ba? If not, may mga questions sa chat box we can probably discuss.
Wala pang volunteer. Anyone else na gusto mag-present? So, I think, Belle, andiyan ka, Belle? I think it's better if you ask your question directly with Sir. Hi, Belle. Andiyan ka?
Sorry, busy po sa sir.
Sige, you ask your question na.
Yung kanina po ba? I think during presentation po kasi nung iba, I still have a leverage, but siguro hindi lang din ako confident on my skills. But my question is, since I'm still working on the projects or yung portfolio, do you have any advice, suggestions that on where I can start po? Since I have hindi po, kumbaga parang hindi kasing yung level of experience ko in terms of data engineering is not that ano ba tawag nito? Di bongga. Or hindi kasing hard skills ng hard coding. But in terms of data analysis, I'm still working on it. And yun po, do you have any suggestion or on where I can start to further develop my skills? And do you recommend taking on a side job in private company? Yun kasi siguro yung kinikrave ko, yung paano siya ginagawa in private company. And yun. Iba kasi setting in government agency eh. So, iba-iba yung work talaga namin. Hindi siya purely for data engineering, but more of project implementation. So, yun. For someone who have grad or have a skill din or knowledge in computer science, and yun po, comsci graduate din kasi ako, kaya medyo guilty ako for not being that good in coding. But in terms of data analysis, I'm working on it po. Yun, any advice po?
Okay, so Belle, this is more of a career question than more of a resume CV question, di ba? Tama?
Parang ganun na nga rin po. Pero nakita ko yung CV rin po ni Sir JP din po, yung kanina na data scientist. And yun, medyo nagkaroon po ako ng idea. Pero AIM graduate kasi si Sir. So parang it's wala lang. Parang nakaka-pressure, but yeah.
I think you should frame it na should be an aspiration rather than pressuring you. But Belle, I have a question. You mentioned in the chat you're working in a government agency. Can you share what government agency you're part of?
Actually, I was part of Sparta before, DAP, Development Academy of the Philippines. But now I'm working in Department of Health as data analyst, where we work on data using R, visualizations, yun po.
Belle, out of curiosity, nasa Epidemiology Bureau ka ba?
Yes! Alam, makakilala. But yeah, hindi po. Kaya...
So I think I can give you advice, Belle, kasi I know how it works. I know DOH well. So feel free to take pointers from what I will say. I understand your frustration kasi I've been working with KMIT's side nila before. And I'm now working with BIHC. I know this sounds Greek to others, but Belle, you know this, you're from DOH. So my advice for you, stay stay in DOH because maraming lalabas na projects in DOH, heavy on data. Just to disclose, I'm from World Bank, and we are supporting DOH on several reforms. And one of those is really enabling digital health. And data is one of the pillars. So my advice to you, stay kasi ang daming lalabas na mga opportunities for you. Nandiyan ka na sa loob, so that makes it more advantageous to you. We're gonna help improve yung surveillance system nyo, electronic medical records, data warehouse, the entire data management stack. So if you feel frustrated, konting taste pa, lalabas na yung mga projects soon in DOH. So I would not recommend for you to do side projects because it will eat up your time. So I'd rather have you work on projects na nasa loob ng DOH and do it and then apply it. And then you present it to a community of practitioners inside DOH. May ino-organize si Director Bentley and yung CIO ninyo to really improve yung data practitioners inside DOH, including your CHDs. So I know kung nafu-frustrate ka, just stay. Maraming parating. So if you want to talk, siguro just reach out over the DEP group. Tapos we can discuss.
Wow, Belle, nice. So,
tapos itong mga binabanggit mo, mga ETL na to, it will be part of those activities in the project. So magkakaroon ka na ng tawag doon, safe space to practice what you want to do in DOH. Okay, so kung na-overwhelm si Belle sa sinabi ko, so
Hindi na.
siguro.
Na-disconnect po ako, sorry.
Okay, yeah. So as I was saying, just stay. Marami pa mangyayari.
Opo. Yeah, actually, wala na ano niya lahat po, na-mention niyo. And actually, I was creating or working on the project na rin po. Under KMITS na rin po kasi kami ngayon, and we're working on, under na ako na health statistics information system. So, doon na talaga patungo ngayon. Kaya, wala lang, enlightening po yung sinabi niyo. So, thank you so much po.
Yeah, are you part of the Geeks cohort number 2 or not?
Actually, hindi po ako kasama sa national, but region-based po kami. So, both
Okay.
implementation po na system and creation are part of my job.
Okay, sige. So just stay there. Maraming lalabas na data related projects. So if lumabas yung call for participations internal to DOH, mag-sign up ka. Maraming opportunities for you to learn.
Would do it. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you po.
Sige. All right. Other questions?
May lang din ako ask kay Belle. Parang na-mention niya kasi ako. Parang wag ka ma-pressure, parang may sarili kang timeline. How cliche that sounds, no? And also, may time ka pa naman mag-masters. Masters will really help you learn a lot. I think magandang motivation yung masters for you to learn something rather than for you to parang get promoted or what. So, if you feel inspired and if you feel motivated to learn more or upskill, take a masters. It really helps. But, pero hindi siya yung parang key. In fact, sa mga Filipinos I work with abroad, parang kaming Filipinos in my current company, parang 2 lang kami may masters. So, hindi siya yung sagot, no? Pero it really will help you if you want to learn more. It helped me learn a lot. Kahit hindi ka sa AIM, kahit I know there's a lot of schools now. Noong time ko kasi, there are only a few schools that offer master's degree. Pero right now, there's a lot in Philippines and abroad, no? So, you have more options now.
Oo nga po ngayon, ang plan ko is to enroll din po ng masters, maybe in PIP or UP. So yun, data science kasi target ko, but parang more, I don't know if pang data engineer ba talaga, but yeah, depende.
Tama ba na
Aalamin
yung undergraduate mo is parang science related, more like
Hin-
bio?
hindi po.
Ano?
More of software developer,
Okay.
development po talaga siya. Pero ngayon lang, self-study po talaga yung data science part. So, yun. Thank you po. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sir JP.
Well, get in touch with data management unit ng KMITS. May mga data practitioners na rin doon. Reach out to them and talk to them on how you can collaborate. Kung nasa CHD ka, send an email. Right?
Yes, will do po. Thank you, sir.
Ayan, thank you, Belle. Thank you, sir, sa mga nag-comment. Ayan, Koji. Ayan, Koji. Would you like to speak?
Good evening po. Hello po. Ask ko lang po is, as a freshman po, gusto ko na rin po, like, mag-work na rin siguro po. So for the past years na rin po, gumagawa na rin po ako ng project. So, back-end. So, yun nga po, full stack. Then, nag-freelance na rin po ako. Nag-start na rin po ako nag-freelance since grade 12. So, ang tanong ko lang po is, paano po pala yung format po ng resume po? Yun po.
Yeah, Koji, were you able to see yung mga resume kanina? I think yung magandang mga model yung nakita natin kanina, especially for someone na nasa school pa. And you mentioned you're planning to do some freelance work. I think that's as far as your career, yung resume kasi is a reflection of the career that you want or career that you're having na once you work. So I suggest there's many templates, but yung kanina nga are good templates to reference to. Pero my advice for you, since nandun ka na sa early stages of your career while studying, try to vision yourself kung nasa ang field of specialization ka. Kasi yung mga tools, mga techniques, madali yan. Pero saan mo siya gustong i-apply? Sa private sector ba? Sa government ba? Sa academe ba? Or sa schools? Try to ask yourself first. Kasi if you have a clear vision of where you want to go, madaling isulat sa resume. So rather than hindi mo alam kung anong ilalagay mo sa resume kasi hindi mo pa alam kung ano yung direction or priorities mo. So templates, madali lang hanapin yung mga templates. Pero what to write in the resume, I think that should be your question ngayon.
Thank you po.
Okay, Rock Muatsi. Would you like to speak? Rock?
Who's next? I'm checking.
Hello po.
Hi,
Meron
good
ako
evening.
question. Nagplano po kasi ako, gawa sana ako ng data engineering end-to-end project for isa sa Google, isa sa AWS, isa sa Azure. Sa tingin niyo po ba malaking tawag dito? Credibility po ba kung merong ako end-to-end project sa tatlong 'yon? Or masyadong
If you ask me, it would help if you know all of them. But practically, my advice is start ka muna sa isa and understand the tool and tools. But more importantly, understand the foundational concepts of why the tools are used in the first place. Kasi napansin ko din to, I tried to do that on my end. Nagsa-start pa lang yung mga cloud technologies in the Philippines, 2011, 2012. But I realized maraming iba-ibang tools but they are operating quite similar. Parang may mga pattern ako nakita. So, it doesn't make sense kasi masyadong magiging spread thin ka masyadong malaking effort if you want to be a master of everything. So all the cloud providers. So my suggestion, hanap ka ng comfortable ka to work on. Usually mga free tier, marami yan. So whatever would be advantageous to you, start there. Tapos be a master of it. Tapos pagka na-master mo na yon, then you branch out to the other cloud technologies. Kasi you will see, ito pala equivalent ni AWS Glue sa Google. Ito pala equivalent sa Azure. And nagkakaiba-iba na lang sila sa implementation. Pero yung foundational concepts of why they are there in the first place, comparable na yon. So, I think you should frame it that way kasi mauubos ang oras mo kaka-master ng mga tools. Tapos pag na-master mo na sila, eventually ma-phase out na rin sila or will be replaced by a better tool. So, that's my advice to you.
Okay po. Thank you po.
Anyone else?
Sige, may mga questions pa dito sa chat. Yeah. Okay, I'm just backtracking the chat.
Sir, question. Yung ibang
yeah.
gustong
Sige.
mag-share ng resume pero not yet ready to talk about it, would it be okay if they send it? Or if they share
Yeah,
it?
pa-compile na lang. Tapos I can annotate as comments dun sa document. Kahit asynchronously, no need to to present it like this.
Yes, sir.
Kung critic lang naman ang kailangan sa akin, I can review it asynchronously. That's fine.
Wow. Thank you, sir. You're so generous
May
naman, sir.
May tanong dito, which is more important in job seeking, projects or certification? My personal take here, projects. Because projects better gauge yan of your experience as well as yung learnings. Tapos yung projects, whether they are successful or if they fail, you still learn from it. So that's actually quite a good reference for experience. Certification kasi is basically just a point in time, and certifications expired. Nagbabago yung technology, no? So to me, if you are a fresh grad, kung nahihirapan kayo maghanap ng credentials, either do freelance projects or go certifications. Pero pag may work na kayo, your experience and projects would be advantageous. Certifications are important lang naman from my experience kapag may mga projects or pag may mga quality checks na kailangan gawin in selecting service providers. So if you are a service provider, particular si client about certification, so doon lang nagiging important yung certification discussions. Pero kung kung nasa organization na kayo, of course, ang hahanapin doon yung mga projects and your experience.
May questions pa?
Okay, may tanong pa dito. The problem is we don't know what company industry going to contact or view the profile. So I think it is a question for you as the job seeker then. Baka naman kasi medyo shotgun yung approach ninyo, submit na lang dito, kaliwa kanan. But you have to also think about strategically choosing a domain or expertise or field that you wish to be part of. Kasi I know how frustrating it is sa market na parang saan na lang, sige kung saan na lang ako mag-submit ng application. Pero nakikita ba ninyo yung sarili nyo doon sa field na yun or sector? Kasi baka makapasok nga kayo doon tapos iba pala yung gusto ninyo. You want in research and development, tapos napunta kayo sa banking na tingin ninyo boring doon. So parang sayang yung effort nyo. So I'd rather have you focus on a certain sector, tapos doon nyo i-align yung content nung resume ninyo para when somebody reviews yung resume ninyo, makikita nung nagre-review na yes, pinaghandaan to and this person knows our industry well. So that is my suggestion.
Okay, thank you, sir. How about Sir Josh?
Hello. Saan to? Sorry. Ay, sa projects ba?
Yes, sir.
Yep,
Baka may
good evening.
comment
Projects
ka
versus
pa.
certification. Yeah, actually, yeah, I would say projects then since right now I have fabric certification. Kaka-recertify ko lang this month. But I can say na I'm an expert. So ayun. Why? Kasi hindi ko siya ginagamit. So that's actually one of the common challenges then, especially for people who are just trying to pursue a career in data. They're collecting certifications. Especially if wala pa talaga sa data role, it's gonna be complicated na magamit mo yung certification na yun. So kapag hindi mo siya nagamit, definitely malilimutan mo rin siya. And it's just gonna be parang a design or parang additional points dun sa resume, but it won't really measure your skills eh. So yun, I would go for projects. And if you are someone who is just trying to pursue a career in data, before trying to take any certifications, start nyo muna siguro aralin or i-apply yung mga tools na yun. So for example, if gusto nyo gumamit ng AWS, or if gusto nyo ng AWS, try to get employed first on a company na gumagamit ng AWS. Tsaka nyo na isunod yung certification. That way kasi at least you know the tool already and then you have the certification. So that's gonna be a good package. So kasi mahirap na ibenta natin yung certification if hindi natin talaga super gamay yung tool. So ayun lang. So parang for me it's still best to use or to be good with the actual things that you really do. And yun nga, at idagdag ko lang din dun sa sinabi ni Sir JP kanina na we should also focus on the fundamentals, not just really on the tools. Kasi if you know, like for example, batch processing, the way how you would think building or working on a project on batch processing is curated na or parang alam nyo na yung mga major points na gusto nyong itanong or i-prepare para sa project na yun if you know the concept itself. So yung mga questioning mo would be about saan manggagaling yung data, kailan yung mga parang kailan siya ini-schedule, anong specific na timeline kung kailan kailangan yung report. So parang business-related na yung magiging questioning natin. Whereas kapag tool-specific naman yung inaaral natin, ang magiging tendency nun is gusto ko gamitin si X tool kasi mas mabilis siya. Pero sa ganitong bagay, gusto kong gamitin si X tool or Y tool kasi mas madali siyang gawin. So parang you're just parang jumping from one tool to another. So it's really important to just also focus on the fundamentals rather than just the tools. So ayun lang.
Meron ditong isang question pa. Should I create different versions of resumes for 10 companies I apply?
My recommendation, not for the company itself, but for the sector which the company belongs to. Kasi you can use that as a template, even applying for their competitors. So, but if you really plan to be strongly identified with the organization, for example, gusto talaga ninyo makapasok ng Google, edi igawa ka ng version specific for Google. But if you're planning to, let's say, aim for a bank, then come up with a template specific for the banking industry. So not necessarily for a specific company or organization. That's my suggestion.
Ask ko lang po here, why should we hire you? How to answer siguro?
Answer. Okay, sige. If that question comes up in the interview, make sure that you prepare for this question kasi it will show you or it will show the hiring officer asking the question kung pinag-isipan mo ba yung career mo. Kasi how you respond is actually not really about the substance lang but how you respond to it. If you come in prepared to the interview, then that's one good signal. Another good signal is if coherent yung thoughts mo when responding to that question. And also, ano yung motivation mo of why applying to that organization in the first place? we know for a fact that everybody needs to get paid. Pero ano yung value that you bring to the organization, I think should be the answer. Rather than focusing lang on ano yung skill sets mo, ano yung mga kaya mong gawin. So, i-frame ninyo yung sagot as if ano yung magpapa-differentiate sa'yo compared to other applicants. How you find that language that is natural to you, how you speak it confidently, yun, iba-iba na yun sa kada tao.
Thank you, sir. I found out most recruiters, hiring managers prefer young, fresh applicants rather than older, career-shifting applicants. Ay,
I would say that depends on the industry. Kasi in government, mas meron focus sila sa mga may experience na. That's what I see. Probably that might be true for startups, wherein the negotiating leverage is not with the applicant but with the hiring entity. Kasi if somebody is already with experience, of course, meron na yung parang plus points, and mahirap pakipag-negotiate with somebody who's experienced already. So probably it depends on the sector and industry. It might be true in some, but in some, probably not.
okay, thank you, sir. Eto, I have a question, sir. What would you advise those applicants who are not yet confident with their skills, or yun nga, baka merong imposter syndrome like that?
May masasuggest akong technique. May pinagawa sa amin nung college. Hindi pa ganun kaganda yung mga camera eh. So, videotape pa nun. So, nagsalita kami, nag-pitch kami, kunwari ini-interview kami. Kaharap yung recorder. So, I suggest do this as if para kayong nagpapa-interview, kaharap nyo yung sarili nyo sa salamin, tapos record yourself. Tapos, once you're done, parang mock interview, tingnan ninyo kung kayo yung hiring officer, kung convinced ba kayo dun sa sinabi ninyo when you were recorded. Tapos, improve nyo na lang din, gawa kayo ng script, gawa kayo ng talking points. Tapos, continuously do that hanggang ma-build na yung confidence na yung speaking in front of other people. Magandang exercise yun. Please do it.
Wow, thank you, sir. Meron pa? Ayan, tama ka dyan,
Yeah,
Bel.
siguro to add na lang dun sa yan. Yeah, to add na lang dun sa sinabi din ni Sir Sir Jake about dun sa if kasi we also have to assess ourselves kung ano na ba yung current state ng skills natin. Syempre we can aim for that particular job, no? I mean, if you already know this particular skill, or if you have built some projects around that area, then you can probably try applying for that job. Pero kapag ka, for example, if you just started learning something, for example, parang 1 month pa lang nag-aaral ka ng isang tool, or ng isang concept skill, then you can still try applying, but you have to really assess yourself about your current yung skills na alam mo na rin. And it's also about how you would present yourself. So kaya maganda rin yung exercise kanina ni Sir JP, because that way you would know yung specific opportunities na magiging challenging ka. So ayun, kapag for example, if you will do that activity, try to ask yourself about the questions na typically ina-ask do sa particular role na yon. That way, on that, parang siguro pwede ka gumawa na parang fishbowl draw lots sa mga questions para at least surprise ka sa mga magiging questions mo. And then, kapag ka bumunot ka na sa question, record yourself, and then read the question and answer it. That way, parang dun mo na parang mas makikita talaga yung mga major opportunities mo. So, for example, if it's about a tech stack, then try to practice about that tech stack. If it's about a certain skill or experience building something, like if it's showcasing building data pipelines, then try to practice yourself doing that. And kung pansin mo na sa interview, parang nakukuha mo naman yung keywords, pero hindi mo na siya hindi mo lang siya ma-vocalize ng gusto. It could be a communications issues. So mga ganon. So yeah, parang you have to itemize na lang din yung mga specific na challenges or parang opportunities that you can try to work on. So ayun lang.
Thank you,
Yeah, meron
Sir.
din akong idadagdag doon sa interview. Yeah, just a quick one. Get into into interviews as much as you can. Okay lang na kahit na hindi ninyo gusto yung organization. Kasi you get a feel pag nandun ka na sa situation, how snappy yung response ninyo and how accurate it is. Minsan nga, may mga interviews ako in-attendan for the reason na gusto ko lang intindihin kung anong kailangan ng organization without any interest of really pursuing my application. Para lang para ma-engage ko lang sila, I get to know ano yung plans nila and so on. But yun, do it if you have time and if you really want to improve yung skills ninyo in the interview. Pa-interview kayo as much as possible kapag may opportunity. You'll get learn from it even if you don't get selected.
Thank you so much, Sir JP, and to everyone else who attended this session. So, just to show our appreciation to Sir JP, we'd like to present this certificate of appreciation, virtual certificate of appreciation. So this certificate is presented to Johannes Paulus Acuna for sharing his expertise during his session at the Data Masters program hosted by Data Engineering Pilipinas, entitled Resume Presentation and Interview Practice Session, issued on the 25th day of January 2025 via Discord. So this certificate is made by Bell. So nagpa-practice lang kami, sir. Hope
All
you
good.
appreciate
Pa-email
it.
na lang.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Oh, guys, out na daw sa Sir JP, ha? And I think all goods na rin tayo. How about Sir Josh? May ano ka pa? Okay ka na, Sir JP. Thank you so much, sir.
Salamat.
Thank you po. Thank you so much. Sir Josh?
Yeah, I'm all good na rin. Thank you
Oo.
guys for organizing the session.
Sir, thank you, ha. Thank you so much.
For sure, sorry late.
Okay lang, okay lang. Guys, thank you, ha. Overtime na tayo, 1 hour lang eh. Si all goods na tayo. Salamat. Bye.